Hi, I'm Micah Brady, real estate broker here in the Santa Ynez Valley. I love calling the Santa Ynez Valley my home. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to visit some amazing properties and meet some amazing people, and I'd like for you to meet them all. So welcome to our Meet the Valley series. Hi, I'm Micah, real estate broker here in the Santa Ynez Valley, here with my good friend,
Amy Dixon of the Baker's Table in downtown Santa Ynez.
I've been coming here for lunch. It's one of my favorite eateries. But talk to us about what is the Baker's? Walk us through
What happens
what
here?
happens here.
What goes on here? So yes, you have been coming here for lunch for years. So the Baker's Table is a bakery and a cafe. We make all of our own pastries, and croissants are kind of my thing. I'm always in search of trying to make the perfect croissant, which is impossible. And we also have a wholesale bread business. So we distribute 30 restaurants, I think, in Santa Ynez and Santa Barbara. And it's a cafe. So we have breakfast and lunch and pastries and coffee drinks. And so we're only open until 2:30 in the afternoon. We do breakfast and lunch.
Did you always like to bake? Before you started the Baker's Table, was making croissants a passion for you?
No.
Well,
Are you asking me this as?
No, I'm asking you.
You're asking.
I'm clear.
So I went to culinary school, and when I went to culinary school, I found out I really liked to bake. And then when I wanted to open a cafe, I thought, well, I better take some more baking classes because I went to culinary school in the 90s. So I took some baking classes, and I took a croissant class because they were always mysterious to me, like, how the hell do you do that? So I took this croissant class, and I just started. I really liked it, and I just started making it. But a perfect croissant is absolutely impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
It's like yoga, it's practice, not perfect.
It's
So
practice,
maybe
not perfect. Yeah, because you just can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, you're working with dough. It just, you can't do it.
Does that inspire, I assume that would inspire you to know that the next croissant could be the next best croissant?
It could be the next best croissant, but it's not ever going to be the perfect croissant. It's just not. You have temperatures to deal with. You have humidity to deal with. Different flour, different butter. I mean, so every time you have to adjust. It's the same with bread. Every time you have to adjust to whatever your variables are. You're never going to get a perfect loaf of bread.
Well, it seems pretty perfect for customers.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean? You become a student of it, and it's not.
What inspired you to, besides the croissant, on some of your other dishes?
Well, I listen to my customers. A few things have been the same always. The ham and gruyere, the turkey brie. Those things have been the same. Cobb salad. But I tried a couple of different things too in the very beginning, and they didn't work. And then I would also I do daily specials. So the daily specials that really sold, I put them on the menu. The tuna melt, for example. I didn't start with tuna melt, and that's one of my most popular sandwiches. So my inspiration has kind of been just listening to people and watching what they like. The curry chicken salad. I didn't start out with curry chicken salad, and then we would make it every now and again. And
People were wanting
people
more.
loved it. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, every Tuesday we'll make curry chicken salad. But that was an evolution. And we just started making this new pastry, which is this little cream-filled tower croissant. And a lot of times we'll make pastries as specials, and we'll have them once or twice, and then they go away. But I can't do that with this croissant because people really love it. So that's kind of my, watching what people like, seeing what they like, what they don't like. So they like Mexican food for breakfast. They do. So we have the huevos rancheros and the chilaquiles and stuff like that.
You've taken the Baker's Table now today to a main spot in Santa Ynez, but you didn't start there. You took a tiny little spot and started your dream, and now here you are. And I just think that is compelling and an amazing story and part of our awesome community here in Santa Ynez. So I'd love to hear a little bit more from you about
the story. So in 2012, I opened the original Baker's Table, just a block and a half from here, and it had been my dream for a long time to have a little bakery cafe. And it was little. We started literally with a shoebox for a cash register until I got my POS system. We did. And it just kind of grew. And as I got to know the customers and retained employees, I had friends that would come in and I tried to put out the best product that I could put out. And it grew layer by layer, step by step, day by day. And it's been great. And so in 2018, I opened in October of 2012. In 2018, I took over the space next to me, and I went from 8 tables to 20-something tables. And then in August of this year, or August of 2022, I moved to this space. This space was a 2-year renovation, and this was an old liquor store, grocery store. I wasn't here before it was a liquor store.
What was it before the liquor store?
It was a grocery store. It was Santa Ynez Market. So we took 2 years to renovate this spot, and in August I was able to move in. So I've been here just about 6 months, and it's been fantastic.
You were a spark that started the revolutionizing or rechanging, reformatting of Santa Ynez. So here you are today on the main drag of the Segundo and anchoring this new Santa Ynez. It's an incredible story.
Well, thank you. Santa Ynez is definitely going through change, a good change.
So what do you see in that regard?
Well, it's going through a great change. It's growing. I don't want to say growing up. It's coming into its own. It's old enough to be grown up. It's coming into its own. A new chapter, and I'm happy and proud to be part of that. When I started 10 years ago, I just wanted to do the best that I could do, and put out the best product. And then I quickly realized that I met all these people that I became friends with, and it's really become a community spot. So I think when I moved from that old space to here, that it brought the community spot kind of front and center, which has been really an honor for me.
Would you say your clients, they're mostly locals, or maybe new locals that have been buying and moving into the valley, but your regulars?
Right. So it's kind of a mix. It's about 65-35 regulars versus new people, new customers. When I was across the street, it was about 80-20 because nobody knew I was there except the regulars, the locals. So it was about 80-20. It was hard to find. And it's changed a little bit. But I've also been able to make new customers and friends, which has been great. It's been really fun.
Walk us a little bit through your day as far as being the owner of a small business and a bakery here in Santa Ynez. Put in some long hours, I assume.
I do put in long hours. I put in longer hours years ago, but I do put in long hours. Yesterday morning, I had to be here at 3:30 and I worked, till 8. And then most days I'm able to come in around 7 and I work all day. But when it's time to really do it, I do put my nose to the ground and do it. In years past, I would come in every morning at 3:30 and I would bake and I would make the croissants and all of that and stay until 3:30 or 4 in the afternoon. And I don't do that anymore. So I can't do it. It's hard work. So, and I have great bakers now and they help me out.
What are the things you love about living in the Santa Ynez Valley?
I love the small town. I love that you go to the post office and you see 5 people that you know. I love that if you need something, you can call somebody and they'll come help you. And that there's only 1 or 2 degrees of separation between most of us. I love that. It's beautiful. and it's a nice community.
What would you tell someone who's looking to buy here in Santa Ynez Valley?
Well, I think pluses are what I just said, that the community is great and there's lots of really great, kind people. It's also, I think the flip side to that is it's you have to put yourself out there to get to know people, and get engaged with different things and get to know people. And it's spectacularly beautiful. If you like horses, you can always do the horse thing here. We raised our daughter here. She turned out right.
Still pretty good.
Yeah. so I would say it's a wonderful place
She still
to
comes
raise
back
children.
and helps you.
She still comes back and helps me. And it's a wonderful place to raise kids. It really is.
Tell me what you think the Valley, what Santa Ynez would look like 10 years from now.
Oh gosh. I think it's going to be more incredible restaurants. I think the downtown is going to be even more cohesive than it is. I think we're just seeing the beginning of a really cohesive, fun shopping district.
I agree.
Really great restaurants. I mean, we already have great restaurants in Santa Ynez, but I think that we're going to see more of that. And as far as, I think there'll be lots of really cute houses and redone houses. The houses that were built in the 50s are all going to get remodeled, I think, and I think it's going to be a great place. It already is a great place, but I think it's headed up. Yeah, I think there's really cool stuff happening here. Really cool stuff. And I think that COVID really put the Santa Ynez Valley on the map as far as people now know our proximity to Los Angeles and people want to come here and hang out and spend the day. It's easier and less expensive than Napa. And we have great wine and we have great food. And so I just think it's just going to get better and better. But when COVID hit, or maybe a little bit before, it was like, oh, well, we have to find something else we can do to further sales.
You grew during COVID. I'm not saying it wasn't easy for you, but you continued to want to push the needle, and you looked at growing during COVID.
Well, yeah, there were a couple of reasons for that. I had to figure out how to make money, how to survive. There was that piece of it. And also, a real part of me felt driven to give back to the community because I knew a lot of people had lost their jobs, a lot. And so I did food boxes, and once a week I delivered them to St. Mark's and they distributed them. So I did that, which was good for business in a way. I had people wanting to come and help, and consequently they would buy lunch, and we did to go all the time. And I wanted to also not lay off my employees. I had to lay off some of them. The ones that I kept, I wanted to keep them employed. And so I had to think of stuff to do. So we started doing family meals, dinners to keep them busy, my employees busy. So I just was trying to keep some sort of normalcy, I guess, and keep going. I didn't want to not keep going.
You're a main part of the fabric of Santa Ynez.
Thank you.
And the Baker's Table is a community spot that people who are here in the Valley and people who are coming to the Valley, I think being able to come here and feel like they're going to your house and that you're serving them and treating them very well is an incredible story about you. It shows how incredible person you are. But I think it's also great about the Santa Ynez Valley, which makes this place really, really special to live in.
Yeah, I think so too. And I'm honored that people come here and they feel at home. And that's my goal.
Yeah, well, you're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
Starting the Baker's Table, you took a big leap of faith, and I think it's incredible to see your success and that it's paid off, and it's a tribute to your hard work, and you may have a great product. So thank you for taking the time to
down and talk.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
And come to the baker's table.
Thank you.